Thank you. No,
education, science and technology. Bawalu, the director of ACC, Mr. Ademola Olajide Ajayi, the global coordinator and team manager at SAP Ireland. National Computer Board, Ceridian Mauritius Limited, University of Technology Mauritius, Polytechnics Mauritius Limited, directors and senior officials from the government and private sector, Africa Good Week ambassadors who are watching us online, members of the press, distinguished guests, parents, mentors, and dear students. Good morning and a very warm welcome to you all to the launching ceremony of the Africa Good Week 2022 and the prize giving ceremony of African Code Challenge 2022. Also, a warm welcome to all those who are following us this event on social media, not only in Mauritius but also in Africa. My name is Rajan Sohon, Manager Curator at LDFC and also the Africa Code Week Ambassador for Mauritius. Today is a very special day and we are going to celebrate the 3 best projects of African Code Challenge 2022 as part of the Africa Code Week initiative, which is a mass digital literacy program spearheaded by SAP in close partnership with UNESCO, Youth Mobile, Irish Aid, and the Association for the Development of Education in Africa. But before going any further, I have the pleasure to invite Dr. Aman Kumamulu, the Director of LGSC, for the web conference.
Good morning, Honorable Mrs. Lazi Dukandachman, Vice Prime Minister, Minister of Education, Tertiary Education, Science and Technology, Mrs. Ilradhanu, Chairperson, Rajiv Gandhi Science Center Trust Fund, Mrs. Gauridas, Acting Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education, Mr. Ademola Olajide Ajayi, I got pronounced well. He is Africa Good Week Global Coordinator, presently online with us. Very early morning there, good morning. And he's based in Ireland. Commissioner of the Higher Education Commission, Dr. Sukon from Open University, Mr. Uttair Singh, Sena, and all my colleagues, senior officials, Chairperson of Sena, Director of Polytechnics Limited, all senior officials of the Ministry of Education and other ministries, directors and heads of departments and parastatal bodies, as my colleague mentioned, partners in Africa Code Week, the list is long, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished guests, dear students, educators, mentors, jurors, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, very good morning. On behalf of the staff of the Rajiv Gandhi Science Center and members of the Rajiv Gandhi Science Center Trust Fund Board, it gives me considerable pleasure to welcome you here in the sunny morning to celebrate coding and digital literacy. While most of my colleagues in the front bench here have been meeting quite often since the past month on many activities, and I will refer to the recent event because it is connected. While most of us have recently participated in the ADEA, Association for Development of Education Africa, triennial, held a month ago, recently, and last week was a symposium organized by Sena, and many of the similar events have been held. And thanks to the government of Mauritius and Honorable Vice Prime Minister and the Ministry for encouraging all our partners under the Ministry to have an active role in both platforms. I think this was a very good platform for networking and valuable dialogue. Now, why I'm taking over? Many issues were raised, iterated, including gender, equity, inclusion, even financing from early childhood to the higher education sector and also collaborative research. However, one continental strategic direction cutting across all sectors of education sector has been digitalization and the use of digital technology in education. Well, this has been the keyword I kept on hearing for the past events. And at the Rajiv Gandhi Science Center, one of the pillars in our strategic plan is the promotion of science and technology. And this has become more prominent since the COVID-19 pandemic. A wide range of projects have been developed online, and of course, I can say at the international norm to continue business, and these were all successfully implemented. Now, dear colleagues, again, coming back to ADEA, one statement we heard there was that it is time for more concrete action and less dialogue. This was said. Okay, and here is a concrete example. I have to say today we are celebrating one concrete project which has been sustained since 2017, because we collaborate with many science centers around the world, and we have one strong collaborator in South Africa, Cape Town Science Center, and they proposed a project to Mauritius, and this is when the whole adventure started. Well, this is Africa Code Week, as we said. And this is considered the largest digital literacy program in the African continent, with the participation of over 40 countries. I think it's extending now, going beyond 50. And this is a sustainable project with measurable and proven KPIs. Now, this project is also, as mentioned by UNESCO, one of the many strategies to achieve the targets in the SDG 4, to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning and opportunities for all. Now, it is said, if you learn to code, you can code to learn anything. Okay? And even our President of the Republic of Mauritius, His Excellency Mr. Prithviraj Rupal, who started his career as a mathematics teacher. He was here a few months ago for one event, and he supported this idea. He mentioned that, according to him, he sees coding telling you how things are evolving. And I'm proud to mention that this project is in line with our mandate of agency to promote technology. Well, as you must be wondering, my colleague mentioned it, we have a number of partners at continental and international level. We are very reliable because without funding, without support, you can't run such a project. And one is SAP, as mentioned. My friend Ade is here. ADEA, even UNESCO partner among the partners, so long, the list is long. And I can read something that's on the website of Africa Code Week. ADEA has been partnering with Africa's biggest digital skills development initiative, SAP Africa Code Week. And this has empowered millions of youth and trained thousands of teachers across the continent. And the vision is to help empower our future workforce for tomorrow's digital economy. So on this one, I wish to thank all our international partners represented online by Mr. Ade, as I mentioned, from Ireland. You will hear him in the near future. Now, locally, also this would not have been possible without my reliable partners. We have the National Computer Board, Ceridian, MIEM, we even have Sena and Mr. Rangula for all the community centers. You know, we already started, the caravan is moving in Mauritius, have covered about 6 villages and doing campaign for the community. So I think this is a initiative. And thanks to Mr. Ramsaran, who's been the Africa ambassador for Africa Code Week, and he will mention more about it later on. Now, I won't be long, of course. Now, I want to open a parenthesis here because it's, as you may be aware, those who have been in our midst will know that Dr. Jayanti Noga was the chairperson of Rajiv Gandhi Science Center Trust Fund since 2015. Has contributed selflessly for not only the growth of the institution, locally and internationally, but had at heart the popularization of science and technology across the Mauritian population. And on behalf of all my staff and board members of the RGSTF, I will like to convey my deepest thanks for her unflinching support and her devotion for this great cause. And she's present in the UK, and she spoke to me a few yesterday only. And of course, when this is a routine in the government, so following the recent reconstitution of the RGSTF board in October, we have now Mrs. Elora Dhanu, who you will hear very soon, who is now our new chairperson. So welcome, Mrs. Dhanu. And I'm confident that you will be committed to promotion of science and technology in the Republic of Mauritius and bring new ideas to drive Rajiv Gandhi Science Center to greater heights. Now, dear students, educators, and mentors, I wish to congratulate everyone for participating in the Africa Code Challenge. In fact, we call it African Code Challenge 2022, and supporting the African Code Week initiative. And special congratulations to our winners, like in all competitions, who will be representing Mauritius at the continental level. And I also wish to thank everyone present here for supporting directly or indirectly this initiative, and particularly my staff and tireless team of RGSTF full devotion and dedication to the work. Now, I will end by a quote of Stephen Hawking. Why Stephen Hawking? When I was studying at Cambridge, we used to work every day. We were the same department. So I had a quite close contact with him. So what he said is that, I quote, whether you want to uncover the secrets of the universe, or you want to pursue a career in the 21st century, basic programming is an essential skill to learn. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you, Director. As you rightly mentioned, Mrs. Dhanu is now the new chairperson of Rajiv Gandhi Science Center, and she's had a very long and successful career in biology education. She's also the president of the Society of Biology, and she's been supporting all the activities of our center since very long time ago. So I have the pleasure to invite you for your address today.
Honorable Mrs. Leela Devi Dukan Lachman, GCS FRSP, Vice Prime Minister, Minister of Education, Tertiary Education, Science and Technology, Dr. Aman Kumar Mulu, Director, Rajiv Gandhi Science Center, Mr. Ademola Olazide Azai, Africa Code Week Global Coordinator for Africa Code Week and African Code Challenge, representative of SAP, senior officials of various ministries, directors and heads of departments of parastatal bodies, board members of Rajiv Gandhi Science Center Trust Fund, members of Diplomatic Corps, members of media, rectors, educators, and distinguished guests, dear students and parents, all protocols observed. Good morning. As chairperson of Rajiv Gandhi Science Center, it is my pleasure to join hands with the director and welcome you all to the prize-giving ceremony of African Code Challenge 2022. I thank from bottom of my heart Honorable Vice Prime Minister, Minister of Education, for entrusting me with the responsibility of chairperson of Rajiv Gandhi Science Center Trust Fund. I'll definitely try to do so, my best to work towards the goal that RGSC has carved for itself, that of being instrumental in promoting study of science and technology in informal way. My vision is to make Rajiv Gandhi Science Center grow and reach greater heights nationally and globally. Madam, we are honored to have you here supporting us. Rajiv Gandhi Science Center is the window for showcasing the government vision of promoting science and technology among the population. Thank you, Madam, for providing me with an opportunity to serve the society. Rajiv Gandhi Science Center team, the board members, and myself share the vision of making RGSC a center of excellence in communication and promotion of science and technology through informal education, allowing the students to experience the scientific concepts on their own firsthand. One of the key principles for this achievement is collaboration. Activities such as science shows, National Youth Summit, Young Mauritians Plan for the Planet, held in collaboration with Western and Australian National Universities, sponsored by Australian High Commission and Mauritius Commercial Bank. Model Gliders Competition, Science Quest, National Science Week, PD Science Fair, held with the support of Ministry of Education and Early Childhood Care Education Authority. India Mauritius STEM Week, supported and sponsored by Indian High Commission to mark the 75th independence anniversary of India. Quiz competitions, workshops are some events held in RTSA with the support of our parent ministry, and mostly with the blessings of our Minister, Honorable Leela Devi Lakshman. Under the able guidance of our previous chairperson, Dr. Jayanti Noga, the dynamic director, Dr. Aman Kumar Molu, and the dedicated Rajiv Gandhi Science Center team. Credit goes to the whole staff of RGSC, who in one way or the other have contributed for accomplishment of our duty towards the young generation who need to be equipped with know-how and skills to face and deal with the challenges of the digital and technology-oriented world. One of the projects RGSC has been leading in Mauritius is African Code Week 2022. By joining the Africa Code Week initiative, the center supports our government's vision of digitally transforming the island by 2030. RTAC had in 2017 and 2018 organized 2 editions of the Africa Code Week, spearheaded by SAP, which is an Africa-wide initiative to impart 21st century skills to the young Africans. More than 30,000 Mauritians, students and public, including Rodriguez, were initiated to coding. Africa Code Week initiative was conducted with the collaboration of the National Computer Board, the Mauritius Institute of Education, and Ceridian Mauritius Limited. This year, the University of Technology, Mauritius, alongside with Polytechnics Mauritius Limited, are also partnering in the Africa Code Week initiative. Once again, the Rajiv Gandhi Science Center Trust Fund Board fully supports the Africa Code Week initiative and appreciates efforts being made by the partners to ensure yet another successful African Code Week. In 2020, the African Code Challenge was launched as part of the African Code Week initiative. In Mauritius, it was organized by RGSC. Youngsters aged 8 to 16 years participated in this coding competition with the objective of acquiring digital literacy and computational thinking skills. We are glad that Africa Code Week has been organized for the 3rd consecutive time. Our 3 best projects will be announced today and will be submitted to the Global Coordination of Africa Code Week for a Pan-African competition. I wish to congratulate the staff of Rajiv Gandhi Science Center and in particular, Mr. Hemraj Ramsaran for successfully leading this project and sensitizing the population in coding. I have myself made a special request to be trained in coding. When the world goes digital, why not us? Let me congratulate all the participants in the competition, especially the winners and mentors for making to the competition, not forgetting the members of the jury panel. I appeal to you all present here to join hands with RGSC and encourage our youngsters, in particular, to venture into the domain of science, scientific studies, and careers, and embark on the journey of discovering the unknown. We have many interesting projects lined up this year, promoting science and technology informally. With all your blessings and collaboration, we'll make RGSC the center of excellence. Thank you for your attention. I wish you all a good day.
Thank you very much, Chair, for your motivating words. Technologies in itself, they do not create a knowledge-based economy. We need people, we need a skill. Use and educators with coding skills. Millions and millions of educators are being trained and empowered. This is happening nearly in 54 countries around Africa. And the impact is directly sustainable development. Fostering on 21st century skills, critical thinking, communication skills. Happening in several countries, as you can see. National Computer Board, Mauritius Institute of Education, Senegal, University of Technology, Mauritius Polytechnics. We're also enrollees and we're also targeting special education needs with the support of our Institute of Education, Tertiary Education, Science and Technology schools. In community, including workshops in community, with society. Yes. That was the training for trainers that was held a few years back at the MIE. Ladies and gentlemen, coding is a new language. African Code Week and African Code Challenge is fully sponsored by SAP. In 2017, we have the full support of the African Code Week team when they landed in Mauritius to launch this campaign and even conducted train-the-trainer programs for educators for onwards training our students and our youth. We are indeed very grateful to SAP and the allied partners. In fact, our GSC has been organizing and conducting the ACW in Mauritius since 2017 until now. With the support of our partners, obviously, we've been initiating coding to more than 30,000 Mauritians. I therefore have the pleasure to welcome my very good friend, Mr. Ademola Olajide Ajayi, the Global Coordinator of Africa Code Week, and the Team Manager at SAP Ireland. Hello, Eddie.
Yes, I am.
Can you
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Imraj?
Yes, we can hear you. We don't see you.
Okay, yeah, you see me. Can you see me and hear me? Right.
Yes,
you can see. You can see me and you can hear me. That's good. All right. Thank you so much, Imraj. Honorable Mrs. Leila Devi Dokun Luchumon, the Vice Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Tertiary Education, Science and Technology, Chairperson Rajiv Gandhi Center, Dr. Aman, Director Rajiv Gandhi Science Center, Mr. Emraj Ramsurun, Global Coordinator for Africa Code Week Mauritius. I'm giving you my title. All representatives of the Ministry of Education, members of the Diplomatic Corps, dear students, esteemed partners, let me stand on existing protocol. We are now in a world where cooperation between the private and the public sector is no longer an option. It's a necessity. The demand of the corporate world, as well as the skills needed to launch a new business, need to be blended with basic learning knowledge. I would also like to add that the soft skills that are inherently taught with digital literacy will turn out to be critical assets when the students of today hit the job market of tomorrow. Coding is a subject that should gradually find its way into the national curriculum moving forward. This will help learners build and gain skills and competencies such as resilience, teamwork, problem solving, and computational thinking. Doing this will accelerate the government of Mauritius' vision to transform the island to a digital hub. To prepare the African workforce of tomorrow, it takes skilled teachers that are aware of the stakes and who will encourage their students to innovate and look deep in their creative minds for solutions to a given problem. It takes parents that realize the importance of technology and opportunities it represents for their children and the communities. It will take policymakers, decision makers, who will make it a national priority to create appropriate learning conditions and infrastructure for the teeming youth of Africa. But before that, it takes a common understanding, a joint vision, to not watch our continent being left behind as the world develops, As the world engages in learning recovery after COVID-19 crisis, we participated in IDEA triennial meeting, which Dr. Aman referred to earlier in Mauritius, to reflect on the policies and synergies that can be explored to rebuild learning structures. Innovation and resilience are key when it comes to developing a continent as young as Africa. The youth occupy a demographic place that gives them a central role to play. Who better than those who will inherit our world to tell us how they need it to be? What synergies, what partnerships can we lay as foundation for them to build upon? What can we prepare today for them to thrive tomorrow? Supporting the transformation of education means looking back at how it is today and learning from our errors, and looking further back to how it was years ago and still learning from our errors. We need to learn from the lack of materials or financial means, and instead of seeing them as something that is missing today, let's look at them as room for innovation, space for creation, and opportunities for growth and development. Success isn't built in one day. Africa Code Week is a brilliant example of how collaboration, patience, efforts, and relentless commitment can have a positive effect on an entire continent. In 7 years, more than 10 million children had a first touch at programming. Now, with a continental coding competition engaging more than 40 plus countries every year, a leadership program for women that spans all the way to Asia, Africa Code Week has demonstrated the power of public-private partnerships. When it comes to transforming the way we teach and the way we would learn on our continent, our future has already started, and it will not develop without us. Because we're already at work, and regardless of gender, age, location, ability, the youth of Africa is taking its place on the world stage. And we will be there to secure a safe space for them to think, learn, and thrive. On behalf of the Africa Code Week team, I say a big thank you to the young learners for taking this opportunity and embracing a new form of learning. Thank you also to the Rajiv Gandhi Center for driving this initiative, and special thanks to Raj Ramsurun for driving this, leading from the front, and also to the leaders of the Mauritius education sector for supporting the initiative. Thank you so much. Over to you, Raj.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Eddie, for your inspiring words. Well, thanks a lot. Now, this African Code Challenge 2021 is a competition organized by the Rajiv Gandhi Science Center with the support of our partners, Mauritius Institute of Education, National Computer Board, and Ceridian Mauritius Limited. Actually, this competition is also part of the Africa Code Week, a major digital literacy program. We are in an era of digital transformation urged by the COVID-19 pandemic, but what is more important is how do we adapt to these global changes. Nowadays, we no longer talk about skills, but we talk about 21st century skills, from thinking, creativity, communication, information literacy, collaboration, etc. And what has also emerged with the 21st century of ICT applications in our day-to-day life. Distinguished guests, the African Code Challenge 2022 for Mauritius was launched in August 2022. The rationale for choosing this year's Protecting Life Together. The theme was to allow children to unleash their creativity and express themselves freely on issues they feel important to our society. To take part in the African Code Challenge, youth were able to enter alone or in teams of up to 5 people. And entries featured a 3-minute YouTube video showcasing how their game works. This called upon the team's ability to design a project that would solve a community issue, code it, and then communicate it. We are very satisfied that we received not less than 24 creative projects from our Mauritian youngsters. The difficulty, however, was in choosing the 3 best projects. The 3 best projects will be forwarded for a Pan-African competition. Now, with the support of our partners, this evaluation was carried out by a jury panel comprising of Mrs. Emerge from the MI, Mr. Sagan from the NCB, and Mrs. Budai from the Ceridian Mauritius Limited. I therefore have the pleasure to request Dr. Wood to offer a token of appreciation to the members of the jury.
One of the critical answer that has been coordinating it. This
We invite you to view a clip from the African Food Challenge when we launched this competition. The LGSC. At the LGSC, this award-winning e-promotion of science has ensured business continuity during the pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, the chalk and talk method in our schools can be considered to be belonging to the past. Our schools are now equipped with smart classrooms to leverage on the potential benefits of ICTs. Our recent educational reforms has adapted the Mauritian education system to the pace of technology, with a view to enhance the teaching and learning experience. ICT can be considered to be one of the pillars of education. We are indeed deeply honored to have in our midst today Honorable Mrs. Lida Devi-Dupal-Najma, GCSK, the Vice Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Tertiary Education, Science and Technology. And we are pleased to invite the Honorable Minister for her address and also request the Vice Prime Minister to please remain on stage after her speech.
The chairperson of the Rajiv Gandhi Science Centre Trust Fund, Mrs. Iluha Danu, Dr. Balu, Director of Rajiv Gandhi Science Centre, senior officials of the Ministry of Education, heads of tertiary institutions, partners of Africa Code Week, the MI, the National Computer Board, Celine Mauritius Limited, UTM, University of Technology Mauritius, Polytechnics Mauritius Limited, distinguished guests, parents, mentors, and dear students. Good morning. It gives me immense pleasure to be in your midst today on the occasion of the launching ceremony of the Africa Code Week and the prize-giving ceremony of the African Code Challenge 2022. Time and again, the message is being forcefully driven in all parts of the world that technical and technological skills are the new mantra of the modern age. Such skills are indeed a prerequisite, and this is so because many of the human jobs, as we know them today, are fast giving place and are fast getting replaced by machines and robotics. Consider any domain of human activity today. You wish to travel and identify the hotels you want to spend time in? Digital technology does the trick. Some airports have installed automatic passenger control kiosks just so as to cut down on queues and waiting time. In the United Kingdom alone, some 100 e-passport gates exist across 18 terminals. On the other hand, workstations are gradually getting paperless, while virtual reality, augmented reality, extended reality, and mixed reality are fast becoming some of the major tech trends. Your cell phone is widely called a smartphone. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you're all conversant with the fact that different publications are consistent and convergent in their futurist assertion that 65% of today's global students will work in STEM jobs that don't currently exist. This is supported by the latest OECD reports that indicate that 80% of tomorrow's jobs have not yet been created, and that 75% of those new jobs will be IT related. Now, what message is this particularly dramatic forecast sending to us? I will today not labor the point of how we are making of digitalization a major transformative agent in the teaching learning process. This is evident to all, and its significance has been intensely felt during the pandemic. It is clear, however, that we must invest in technological education because we have, through education, to prepare our learners to be future focused and future ready. But we should also remember that getting future ready should not apply exclusively to the world of work. It should be so in all fields. It is a whole of society appendage. Being ready for the future implies as well the development of a new mindset and the relinquishing of the traditional mindset that revolves around established and deep-rooted orthodoxies. Ladies and gentlemen, this is precisely one of the focus areas of the transformation that is currently being acted upon in education. Today, it's more than evident that we have to inculcate the right mindset if we want learners to be innovative, creative, forward-looking solution providers of tomorrow. Therein, dear friends, lies the spread and the reach of coding. Some countries have certainly reached an advanced state in coding, and others less so. But they're all intensely conscious of the ineluctable benefits it offers. This explains why a country like Israel has made it a point to teach coding from kindergarten. In others, like Singapore and Australia, it has become a compulsory subject in primary and in secondary schools. So let's agree to see coding as a new type of literacy that will be at the very heart of future jobs, jobs that will thrive on skills that we commonly refer to as the 21st century skills, presented earlier by Mr. Hudson. I know you're all conversant with the terminology. Still, let me spell out the obvious. 21st century skills include collaboration, communication, digital literacy, citizenship, problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, and productivity. These skills are so labeled since they are more in line with the requirements of the post-industrial revolution. And they are the skills required and not the type we needed earlier, but these are the skills that will typify our industrial mode of production in the current age. And importantly, these skills go beyond the mere technical annotation. How someone thinks, solves problems, and learns has a greater impact on a person's ability to function in a technology-rich society than just being knowledgeable. I'm extremely happy, ladies and gentlemen, that today's competition aligns with our educational philosophy that encourages imagination, innovation, and entrepreneurship, as well as creativity for students, and that too from an early age. In fact, we should be very pleased that so many countries in Africa are now taking concrete actions to step up their presence in the digital world. This as well explains the popularity of the Africa Code Week and the African Code Challenge that we have now become continent-wide initiatives to foster digital literacy and to spark the interest of African children, teenagers and young adults in software coding. The both are examples of a front where we are advancing in pursuit of a broader goal of creating a digitally literate Africa. We must push this process forward at a quicker pace. Africa can thereby deliver on its economic potential much faster. And it is digital skills that will make the difference. We have been talking repeatedly about the African Renaissance. We have been talking about Africa of tomorrow. That this can only be made true if we consider moving in and developing the digital skills of the people. Dear school personnel and education stakeholders, by joining the Africa Code Week initiative, our Mauritian educational institutions have consolidated the efforts in supporting the government's endeavor of digitally transforming this country. We recall that the Rajiv Gandhi Science Center had in 2017 and 2018 organized 2 editions of the Africa Code Week, where more than 30,000 Mauritians and Rhododendrons, both students and members of the public, were initiated to coding. I'm happy to note that the 3 major partners of the previous editions, namely the National Computer Board, the MIE, and City of Mauritius, have this year been joined by the UTM and Polytechnics Mauritius. Thank you all for your collaborative vision. Thank you all for this active collaboration. It is very much appreciated. Partnership is nodal to most of our activities today. Ladies and gentlemen, a word regarding the African Code Challenge 2022. This challenge, I'm informed, was first launched in 2020 as part of the ACW initiative. Youngsters aged 8 to 16 years participated in this coding competition with an objective of acquiring digital literacy and computational thinking skills. Participants were required to create an educative game using the Scratch programming platform while the 3 best national projects then entered into the Pan-African competition. I'm pleased to know that while in 2020, one of the 3 best Mauritian projects was ranked 4th at the African level, in 2021, one of our best submissions by the events at Dershika Heritage, the Super Recyclers, was ranked 1st in Africa. As for this year's edition, on the theme Protecting Life Together, I can only wish good luck to those 3 best projects from Mauritius that will be submitted to the Global Coordinator of the Africa Code Week to compete at the regional level. Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments, the 3 best projects for the African Code Challenge 2022 will be announced. It will be a real feather in the cap for the winners, but also for the other participants. Because the real challenge is not in just winning the competition, but also in participating and in being creative and innovative. Because by participating in this competition, you have created and you have innovated. I therefore convey my congratulations to all participants in the African Code ACC 2022, including the parents who will be supporting the children, the educators, and the mentors. I'd like to encourage similar initiatives, not only from the Rajiv Gandhi Science Center and the partners of Africa Code Week, Mauritius, but from other institutions as well. We commit ourselves to instill 21st century skills in our young minds for the future of Mauritius and of Africa. And I have the immense pleasure to declare the Africa Code Week 2022 open for Mauritius and Madrid. Thank you for your kind attention.
We have the pleasure to request our chairperson, Mrs. Donu, to offer a bouquet to our Vice Prime Minister. Please remain on stage. I request Dr. Moni to stage. A cash prize of 8,000 rupees, machine and equipment. Certificates is being offered to the 3 best projects of African Code Challenge 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, but beforehand, we have today also 5 consolation prizes, 5 consolation gifts to 5 projects with lobbying after the previous competition was really, really tough. The deliberation took us very, very long time. Mrs. Emma is smiling. It was very, very difficult. I had to admit it this time of the 3 editions. This time it was really, really tough, competitive. Well, I have to also admit that the participants were given training in Scratch, training in video making. This is the innovation that we brought in the competition this year, thanks to our partners. So I will announce the winners of the consolation prizes. So number 1, the team of Aquafuna by Devina Aguilen, Dylan Elapen, and Woodley Eva. Congratulations. A certificate and a programming kit is being offered to the team of Aquafuna. The next consolation prize goes to the team of Royal College Cupid represented by Mrs. Padia Saroj, Vida Kishudea, Jasmine Korsin, Kodabakas Mohammed, and Mikhail Daika. We have also the Director of College Public President yesterday, Mr. Kashamdin. Thank you. Thank you, Rich. The third consolidation goes to MNSSS girls, Vishni Ajuda and Chen San Chong Mandish. Congratulations. Congratulations, Team Event SSS girls. Thank you very much. Consolation prize. The team of Coding Samurai Club, Guduri Tushar, Kadisha and Vidisha, Ranesha, Aksahai, and all. Future programmers.
8 years old.
Thank you. And the last consolation prize goes to the Nidia family, Isha, Yash, and Haris. Congratulations. You can see this project and before in a family project. It's a family project. We'll be encouraging parents to be part of this competition. That's a beauty. Thank you. Congratulations to the 5 projects, 5 teams arriving next to the free best. And now is the time to announce the free best projects of African Code Challenge 2022. These 3 will be representing us on the continental level in Africa for the Pan-African competition. And the 3 best projects are: number 1, Coding Samurai Club by Alti of London. Laksimo Kiana, Honorable Alicia, Gudubi Triaksha, Sajul Rehan, and Kiravan Vignesh. Congratulations to title. Congratulations, colleagues on the title. Whoever please remain on stage. Second best project. The second activity, mission report by Savita Babu, Kishamanic Syria Amador, Jimeshwar Luchu, Grace Soyabuya, and Nikhil Dunia. Congratulations. Third, the last of the three best projects. Structure Visual Academy, represented by Shena Shubu, Mivish Hindu, Enkesh Culture, Kurnish Kawal, Kiris, Sital Bichok, and Vanshika Bongapudan. Sitting here. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, our function today has come to an end. But before leaving, I would request all the participants and mentors who are present here. We are also distributing the certificates just outside the auditorium, so you can collect your certificates. Therefore, we would like to sincerely thank the Honorable Vice Prime Minister and the Minister of Education, Tertiary Education, Science and Technology, the SAP, Africa Week and the partners, UNESCO, Youth Mobile Irish Aid, and the Association for the Development of Education in Africa for this initiative, the Rajiv Gandhi Science Center Trust Fund, the Chairperson, Director, our partners, Mauritius Institute of Education, National Computer Board, Civilian Mauritius Limited, University of Technology Mauritius, Polytechnics Mauritius Limited. The RGSC staff, without whom this function would not have been possible. And most importantly, our participants, mentors, and our dear students, without whom African Code Challenge 2022 would not have been possible. So I will leave you with one very simple message. It's always very good to win, but the most important thing is not to win, but to keep on trying until you do your best. So for now, thank you very much for being here with us. We invite you for some refreshments in the cafeteria. But we start by the first two rows to proceed with the director, the first two rows on both sides. Please proceed with the director. And a few minutes later, we can proceed. Meanwhile, the mentors can go and collect their certificates. For students, we have catered. Refreshment is in the activity area. For students, the refreshment is in the activity area, while for mentors, parents, and guests, please move to the cafeteria. You will be guided to outside.
Adi.
Yes, Raj.
Yes.
How are you doing? Congratulations. Fantastic event again.
Thank you very much. You're
As
happy?
always. I'm very, very happy. Well done to you and the team.
Thank you, Adi.
We can't thank you enough for all the work you do. I know I was there in person. I saw you on the ground planning this, moving mountains, and we can't thank you enough, Raj. Thank you so much for all you do for the kids. Really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. You lost your audio.
Just let me know.
Audio is gone. Audio is gone. Yeah, you lost